Hey guys, in this video we're going to be checking out the iRange iRX4. This is a 4-in-1 transmitter module, and this works for the Taranis, Futaba, the FlySky TH9X, and the Turnigy 9XR Pro, all the radios that happen to fit this particular module bay. And this is a updated version of the 4-in-1 protocol module that Banggood had a while back, which did not have a case. It just came with the board, and you could buy a separate 3D printed case. So they have now put this updated chip or this updated board in this iRangeX branded case, and it includes an antenna, which is detachable. So it's a lot cleaner looking now. So this module comes with 4 RF chips in there, and let me zoom in here a little bit. It comes with the CC2500, the NRF24L01, the A7105, and the CYRF6936 chips. I did do a video a while back on this Gobish module that only had the NRF24L chip in there. It could do a lot of the toy protocols like Hubsan and Cheerson and such. However, this 4-in-1 module is a lot more powerful with 4 RF chips, and you could do a lot more protocols with this. Now, the previous version of this was based on the Atmel chip, which only had 32 kilobytes of memory. This has the STM32 based chip and has 128 kilobytes of memory. So you have a lot more leeway for future protocols that will come out. So it seems like there's a new toy protocol coming out every week, and as they come out, you can then flash the board that's in here and get the updated protocols. As of the video right now, this is middle of May 2017. This has pretty much everything that is out there right now, and you probably don't need to flash this for a while until a bunch of new protocols come out, maybe in the future. But if that should happen, the board on here has plenty of memory for all those additional protocols, so that's something that's a pro over the old version. Now with this newer version, there's no dials or buttons or anything on here, and everything is done in the software. In this case, it's going to be OpenTX on the Taranis. So unfortunately, this doesn't come with any instructions, but I'll walk you through what you need to do. The Taranis does not come with the multi-protocol firmware built into the firmware that's on the transmitter. So you have to basically flash your Taranis with a newer version of OpenTX that includes the multi-protocol software, so that you can then access the module and change the different protocols and chips that you want to use on here. So it's all done within the radio itself. So I'm going to go ahead and go to the computer now, and I'll show you how to where to get the software, how to download it, and how to update your radio. First thing you want to do is go to the Open-TX website, and then scroll down to the news section where they'll have the latest firmware. You want to have at least version 2.2. In this case, I'm using RC18. And then you want to scroll down to the download syncs links section and get the SD card contents. And here I'm just going to be getting the SD card contents for the X7 and the X9D. You want to get the more recent versions, and you can see they're dated there on the right. So I'm downloading both of those. You'll need to unzip the contents of these onto your SD card that goes into either your X7 or X9D Taranis. And then you want to get the Open Companion installer. And in this case, I'm getting the one for Windows. They also have the companions for the Mac OS and Linux and Ubuntu as well, if you need those. Okay, this one you want to install the OpenTX companion software. Just double click the executable and run it. And I'm just clicking on all of the defaults here. I'm just going next, 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 and there's really nothing here to change. Just go ahead and install with all the defaults and it'll be fine. Next, you want to go into your settings and then hit settings again to change your application settings. and then go to the application settings tab, and you want to make sure you check OpenTX firmware nightly builds and use companion nightly builds. Otherwise you'll get some error messages. Go ahead and click OK. Next you want to go into the radio profile section and create a radio profile. I'm creating one here for the X9D Plus. And under radio type you want to select X9D Plus for the that one that you're using. And then the very most important thing is under build options, you want to select multi-module. This is will allow you to use the 401 multi-protocol module, otherwise it won't work. And at the bottom, you want to make sure your default channel is set to AETR, and you want to make sure that offer to write firmware to transmit after download is checked. At this point, you're going to want to power up your Taranis in bootloader mode by pressing in both of the bottom trim buttons and powering it on. And at this point you can plug in the USB cable. Next you want to hit the download button, which will bring up the download window, and then hit the download firmware button. And you want to save the file to your hard drive, and then once you do that it'll ask you if you want to write the firmware to the radio, and if you were in bootloader mode and plugged in the USB cable, it should go ahead and start writing it. I'm just double checking my settings here, and I'll go ahead and click write to transmitter, and I'll go ahead and do that. Shouldn't take too long. And at this point I'll say flashing is done, and you should be ready to go ahead and move to the next part. Okay, so once you've updated your radio to the latest version of OpenTX that has the multi-protocol software built into it, we'll go ahead and install the module into the back of the Taranis here, and it fits pretty nice. It's no complaints in terms of the fit and finish. It just snaps right in, and you can see that it's flush and no problem getting it in. Go ahead and you want to turn on your radio.
Welcome to OpenTX.
Okay, so the first thing you want to do after you flashed the new firmware is you want to go into your radio setup, and you want to check that your default channel order is AETR. So a lot of these TOI protocols are going to be using this default channel order. In case it's if you've changed it to something else for your each individual model, you want it to be AETR. Next, you want to set up a model. Go in here, and then under the model setup, you want to disable the internal RF module. So right now it's currently turned off. If it's not off, turn it off. On the external module, you want to be on multi, right here, MULT. There's obviously going to be other ones on here like XJT, DSM2, etc. What you want here is the multi, and then there's going to be a primary protocol and a sub protocol here. So we're going to select, in this case I'm going to bind up my E011. This uses the Beiyang protocol. And then the sub protocol is also Beiyang. And then you want to go down to bind on power up. I usually have that checked. So then when you turn on your Taranis, it'll go into bind mode automatically. So the easiest thing to do is to then go ahead and exit out of this. And then I'm going to turn the radio off. So then your model, you want to go ahead and plug in your battery. And then you'll see that the lights are flashing. It's waiting to be bound. And then since I have auto bind turned on, I'll just turn on my radio.
Welcome to OpenTX.
And it should bind. There, it's starting to flash, and that indicates that the binding has been successful, and now we can fly our model. So that's pretty much it to getting the multi-protocol module working on your Taranis. Obviously, there's multiple protocols out there, multiple different TOI protocols out there, so you're going to have to change your settings for whatever quad you happen to be connecting it to. This happens to be the E011. You might have to look up maybe on RCGroups as to what particular protocol this module is going to be using for your toy quad or whatever device you're going to be using it on. I don't have a complete list of that, so you probably have to do a search on RCGroups or something like that. Anyway, guys, I hope you found this review of the iRX multi-protocol module useful. Let me know if you have any questions, and I'll talk to you guys in the next video.